Like, this is what people see when they get off the airplane. This is what they see. Like, how is this acceptable with this millions of people here? And off-road. Sidewalk is closed. Please put a big sidewalk here, thank you. Hey everybody, good morning. It's Brian from Bike San Antonio and Bronco Bikes. And it's a beautiful sunny morning here in San Antonio. And we're out for a little ride. Full disclosure, my Strava is on, and I am on a 30-mile-per-hour e-bike, electric bicycle that's got pedals and a chain that I'm pedaling right now at slow speeds. So we're about to get onto Broadway. We are at Broadway and Brockton. This is the north part of Broadway, head towards Wetmore. And we are in District 10. District 10 is where I live. I live in a nice neighborhood by MacArthur High School. Oh, sidewalk disappeared for a second. I am basically doing this ride from District 10 to District 1, just to kind of show some of the inadequacies here for pedestrians and bike riders or non-car users for transportation. I do prefer a e-bike that can go about 30, maybe 35. Is, you know, still though, at 30 miles per hour, I'm a sitting duck next to people who are trying to go 50, right? So I'm going to use a sidewalk for the majority of this, but I may go off and on the sidewalk as needed. And I'm using the sidewalk for a good portion of this. But you might ask yourself, well, what is the legality of using a sidewalk? And well, to be quite honest or frank, it's technically not legal for you to use the sidewalk with a bicycle with tires that are over, I think 16 or 18 is the top of the tire size. But this is how people will get around. They will use the sidewalk on a scooter, and they'll use the sidewalk for the bicycle. Technically, you're supposed to be in the street. And good luck convincing San Antonians who drive Dodge trucks that you're legally allowed to be on the street, because they see bikes as a nuisance and as a obstacle to plow through. Safety tips, y'all. Always look out for the cars, because they're not going to look out for you. Plan your stops. Don't do anything erratic. Be predictable. Wear bright clothing. Make eye contact if you can. It helps humanize you. Have a left-hand mirror. That's also very helpful. Alright, we are pushing about 30-ish right here. And I'm gonna take this bullshit because it was not safe for me to stop in time. Okay, we just went under 410 by the airport, and let me just make a point. Like, okay, so you're new to San Antonio and you want to come eat at Jim's. You got off the airplane, and I would be embarrassed, honestly, if this was my city council, if I was city council and on sitting and the mayor, and I'm just going to show you how pitiful this is. This is what San Antonians think is okay, but it's not good. Like, the sidewalk here on Broadway is pitiful at best, downright unusable through Alamo Heights in certain areas. So anyway, I'm gonna use my complaining powers for good and try to improve this. So you can see here, there's definitely not enough room for a pedestrian and a cyclist to be on this little baby sidewalk here of about two and a half, maybe 3 feet at some points. But this is an old sidewalk. This sidewalk is probably about, I would probably say at least 30 years, maybe probably about as old as I am. And I'll be turning 42 on Friday. So, and, okay, where'd the sidewalk go? Oh no, it's over here. Okay. All right, okay. I'm gonna look back behind me and there's nobody coming, so I am gonna hop back on the street just for a little while. Awesome, guy. Thank you for that. Needed a bath anyway. Okay, so this is a, I don't know, newer part sidewalk. This is a little better. It's like about four feet or so. This is better. This is probably about 5 feet or so. But yeah, so we're basically in Alamo Heights now, and I'm gonna jump back on the sidewalk for a little while. I really would like to make a point about the sidewalk on the other side of the street here. Let's see, what is the name of this apartment? Le Chateau de Alamo Heights, Le Chateau. Le Chateau, your sidewalk is pitiful. It's no good. Yeah, well, we'll try to take a little video of that on the way back. So yeah, we're going down Broadway, and this was kind of my experience when I first moved to San Antonio. We only had one car, so we needed to stay close to our employers. I was working for a grocery chain and retail, and my wife also works retail. And anyway, so we needed to, and we had our young son, and we needed to be in a good school district. Not being from San Antonio, we said, well, Alamo Heights seems to have the best school district, so, and it's close to where our employers are, so we needed to find something off of Broadway, and I needed to find something that I could use a bicycle to get to work, which was very, very challenging. Coming from Austin to here, very challenging. So, you know, I made the point of not, that it's technically not legal for a bicycle to use the sidewalk. I'd say you definitely, if the crosswalk is the best spot for you to be, then that's where you should be. But to all these car drivers, they don't know I can go 30, you know, and here's a pretty moderate hill coming here, so I'm just a nuisance to them, and it's not safe. For me, it's not safe for the car drivers. Make sure this guy is not taking a right. Sometimes they do that. Sometimes they don't use their blinkers. We got some old telephone poles here. This is fantastic. Yep, get your seatbelt on. That's a good idea. Hola, señor. Hola. Buenos dias. So the other issue of being on the sidewalk is you're not vehicular traffic, you are pedestrian traffic, and which means now you have to yield to pedestrians, because that's how that works, and also you have to yield to cars that are, thank you, you need to yield to cars that are going to be taking a right into an entrance to a business or an apartment or building or whatnot. So, you know, yes, ideally they will yield to you, but the onus goes both ways for your safety. You have to take active part in your own safety, whether you're driving a car, walking on the street, on sidewalk rather. Like if you're a pedestrian and you're walking the sidewalk and you are scrolling or using your phone in a way that you should only be using the phone if you're sitting down somewhere and not driving or walking, then you become a liability to yourself, because you could easily get hit by a car who's not looking for you. So your safety needs to go both ways. And yeah, telephone poles, those are awesome. And so yeah, here this portion is a little slower. Most people don't go past about 25 or 30 through here. But yeah, in general, normally when I'm riding, I will just ride in the street because of how inconvenient it is to be on a sidewalk. And so here comes a pedestrian, and I would need to yield to him and be careful, because the last thing you want to do is hit an elderly person on your bicycle because you're using the sidewalk where pedestrians are meant to be. So that really just kind of brings up my main point is, if you're a cyclist and you're trying to use your bike for transportation and you're not in the urban core, and then you're just kind of at the mercy of everybody. You don't have a designated place to be, right? Lincoln Heights HEB and Bessie right behind me. That's going northbound towards 410. So yeah, this is actually should be a pretty doable ride, really. It's not that far on an e-bike anyway. It's about 8 to 10 miles, kind of depending on where you're going. But downtown from my house is about 8 to 10 miles or so. That's doable on an e-bike for a commute. But I guess the point of this video is just to kind of show how strenuous it is, since there is no designated place for you to be. And I'm still never going to believe that they're ever going to put a bike lane on Broadway. So my push is for a 8 to 10 foot sidewalk, which kind of leads to me where I am right now. So, this is a new sidewalk, but it's not very wide. Like, it's not very wide, and there's all this grass here. There's all this grass here. There's all this grass here, so it's just cost savings, right? Don't build it any wider than it needs to be. Just across from the Lincoln Heights HEB, and nice new sidewalk. Yeah, probably about that 10 feet or so. And then when we get to the other side here, we're going to transition, and you'll see it is pathetic and sad. Alamo Heights, do better. Come on. This was a nice wide sidewalk, right? And then bam, you get this. Like, how do you go from 8 or 10 foot sidewalks to this? This sidewalk is definitely older than me. All right, so we're on the sidewalk going northbound on Broadway, and I just wanted to show how bad it was, because I used this sidewalk quite a bit when my son went to this school, Howard. And if you're in a stroller, this is unusable, really. So you would think that with all this money, Alamo Heights would fix this sidewalk, but priorities, right? Oh, he's gonna back up for me. Thank you, sir. This spot, I don't even know how you call this a sidewalk. Like, this is not a sidewalk. But thank goodness we have this vegetation. Look at this. If you were in a wheelchair, this is not ADA compliant, one bit. You are so close to moving traffic, and this sidewalk is extremely inadequate. And I believe this falls underneath Alamo Heights jurisdiction, because we're in Alamo Heights right now. but still, nobody knows. Most people don't know when they're driving from one district to another municipality. Most people don't know that, right? This is just the experience that we get. So now we're in front. Here we go. Let's see, nice big old sidewalk. So things have changed quite a bit since 1960 as far as design requirements. And now you have this nice big sidewalk. This is nice. And it's only nice here, and then it gets bad again. Just north of Sunset here. Yep, this is my old stomping grounds. This intersection right here at Sunset and Broadway is just deplorable. It's just awful, awful, awful. I had so many close calls at this sidewalk when I used to walk my son to school. Why we needed this, all these rocks here like this? Why did we need this? Like, what is this? Like, what design language is that? Why? And then boom, this, right? So it's just the inadequacies and the inconsistencies that really get me. Like, what is the purpose of that? How is that helping anybody? I do not know. And so yeah, we're on this portion of the sidewalk here in front of this newer stretch of businesses. And pretty good, right? Okay, not too bad. Not too bad. And then, yes, imagine you're in a wheelchair. That's all I gotta say is imagine you're in a wheelchair and then this. What are you supposed to do? Like parkour jump over that? Like I mean, it is a serious drop. Okay, and then this. This is your sidewalk? Good grief! Like that? Like, come on, guys! Like jette le caca, jette le sucky sidewalk. How is this considered a sidewalk? How is this a sidewalk? Somebody please tell me. Okay. Cute. Oh my God, see, look at that shit. Like, what in the... What? Not ADA compliant whatsoever. Good God. Okay. We're over here by the rebar, and so yeah, this is the experience of a lot of people who move to San Antonio. Is this right here, you know? Like, where's the sidewalk here? Is this a sidewalk? No, technically, this is the sidewalk. Horrible. Okay, we are on Broadway here, headed northbound, and I just wanted to show how nice and wide and luxurious the new sidewalk is here in front of P. Terry's, and I just think it's fantastic. This is a great solution. Also, P. Terry makes pretty good burgers, but I think their sidewalks are even better. Look at this. Cyclist, you're looking at, probably about 10 feet, 11 feet, maybe 12 feet, something like that. It's maybe not perfect in every case, but this would be a huge improvement to what most of the sidewalks look like here, if there is one. You got all these kids who go to Alamo Heights High School here, and I guarantee you, most of them probably live within 5 miles. They probably live within 5 miles of where they go to school, but they all drive these cars here. And I wish they were riding e-bikes and scooters and stuff instead. At least until they're 18 or something, 17, 18. But no, they're 16 and they get 3-year-old BMWs. All right, that's enough of that bitch fest. This is not really a bike lane, this is just a shoulder. And you know what blows my mind is there's a very prominent bike shop here, and their previous owner was not very hip to a bike lane on Broadway. And it blew my mind, because it was going to take away this glorious, ridiculous on-street parking right here. Why we need this on-street parking? I mean, people need to get in the business, but there's other ways, you know, anyway. And so you would think that this bike shop would want a bike lane here, but they did not. But we're gonna keep pushing on here. Okay, we're still on Broadway here, and had a very nice conversation with the police officer, just talking about e-bikes and the need for better sidewalks and whatnot. So yeah, we're here in Alamo Heights, and I have been riding on the street mostly. But yes, there is a very varying degrees of different kinds of sidewalks here, and we have on-street parking, which I've been told may go away. We'll see. Also, my understanding is this portion of Broadway that goes through Alamo Heights, basically from Austin Highway to Hildebrand, I suppose, or Bassey, somewhere around there. That's that portion of Broadway. This portion of Broadway may get some rejuvenation through Alamo Heights. But yeah, this is this little bus stop right here is actually one of the original trolley stops for Broadway. Broadway used to have a electric trolley like they have in San Francisco, and it was run by CPS. That's right, CPS had its own electric trolley, and this was one of the trolley stops. A lot of people don't know that, but I do think that's really cool. Okay, so yeah, I will use crosswalks as needed. This is pretty poor right here, drainage to a pretty bad ADA, non-ADA compliant. And we had to get rid of the car chargers because, you know, there were electric car chargers here, and when they did the remodel, they said, we need these spots for all these cars. So, now see how nice and luxurious this sidewalk is? This is nice. This is real good sidewalk here. And I don't know why we can't just put these everywhere, but I'm gonna give you the boy map version here. I'd say that's like 12 feet. It's probably about 12 feet. But yeah, if you were using the street, to try to get through this intersection, it's a bit tough, I'll say. People get onto cyclists for breaking the law while they're in a Suburban doing 80 on a school zone. just kind of trying to finish up this ride and documenting the travesty that is known as San Antonio Sidewalks. Yeah, so nobody in District 1 or from Alamo Heights has told collision experts that sidewalks are needed in this city. So no sidewalk exists here because nobody has forced them to put a sidewalk in. I don't understand that. Like, I never had experienced this growing up in Austin. Austin, there's just sidewalks. The city built sidewalks. Taxpayers paid for it. End of story. Here, the sidewalks the responsibility of the sidewalks were on the property owner. So there may be a sidewalk, there may not be. You know, even this portion here in front of Dutch Bros is not as good as the Pete Terry's, but it's better. It's better. Thank you, sir. So that pedestrian was yielding for me. Ugh. Just deplorable. And so yeah, you can really tell if it's a newer business or not because it has a big wide sidewalk like this. Like, this is what people see when they get off the airplane. This is what they see. Like, how is this acceptable with this millions of people here? The sidewalk is closed. Please put a big sidewalk here, thank you. Okay, we're over here by Lions Field. This is Broadway and Mulberry. The zoo is over there. And this is a bike trail known as Avenue B, which that portion there, that's basically just an alley or behind businesses, so it's not really a bike lane or anything. And then this way heads towards the Pearl, and it is a bike lane, kind of. It's more of like a trail. So yeah, a lot of times we'll use Avenue B because it will take you down the Pearl. Essentially it takes you from the Whitty to the Pearl, and then from there, you know, Pearl has gotten a little better on their they do have a little bike lane, but it still doesn't really connect to the south portion of Avenue B, which is south of the Pearl, underneath 281, headed in the kind of where the VFW is. Anywho, just showing kind of the inadequacies of Broadway for all different road users. So I wanted to make a quick video about that. And this is the 15th is Bike to Work Day. It's also my birthday. I'll be 42 and been still surviving on the bike here in the treacherous San Antonio. But yeah, we got to make it better for all road users. If we had a protected bike lane on Broadway or in better infrastructure, every day could be Cyclovia. This is Bryan Martin from Bike San Antonio and from Bronco Bikes signing off. Hope you have a great Bike to Work Day and get on your bike and ride because it's Bike Month. Cheers.